the Akai MPK Mini, which is like another it's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It's a cute little keyboard. It's a good MIDI controller, but
yeah.
I'm like, it it it's okay. I wanted
Okay.
a sampler this time. I was like, I want something portable. I wanted something that
You have it right
doesn't.
there next to you too.
Yeah, I do actually. I'm gonna take it out so I can show the camera.
That's that's
But
that's that's so cool.
yeah, no,
No,
it's
I mean because you're just saying how much you love it and everything. This is like it's right there next to you.
yeah,
It's like so.
yeah, no, when I was like, oh, right,
There you
this
go.
SP404, yes,
Yeah.
like this I this was like the best purchase I've made this year for sure. Like,
Welcome everybody to Nsway 73 TV. It is me, Uncle E. Like I always say, thank you for tuning in. Do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment. Like I say all the time, whether it's good or bad, either way, I appreciate you taking the time to do so. Joining me today, for me, it's a great pleasure to have this guest on. I will say this. I was just telling her behind the scene, but I'm going to say this to start it off. It's refreshing when you can go on Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media platform that it is that you use and see something nice for a change, right? Not see chaos or bad things or that somebody passed away again. But just to see something refreshing and something that can probably get your day going in the right way, in a positive way, good vibes, energy. My guest provides that. If you don't know, I'm talking about Ellie Rizoa. If I said it wrong, please correct me.
you said it perfectly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Check out her Instagram page. It's full of great music, great sounds, great vibes, great energy, good vibrations. If you're having a bad day, you can go and check that out. It will definitely change that. If you want a good start to your day, go and check it out. It's going to give you a great day. Man, she loves making music, but I think there's another purpose to her. I think the purpose is to spread some joy and bring some positivity to the world. But yes, joining me today, I have Ellie Rizoa. Thank you so much for taking the time. How are you
Thank
doing?
you. I'm well. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great right now.
That's good. That's
Sometimes
good.
I should have even added, I'm going to also add, if you had a bad day or not such a great day, go check her out. It'll brighten you up too. But everything is good. Thank you once again for taking the time, man. I've been looking forward to this conversation. Happy birthday once again. I know I told you
Thank
before, but
you.
I'm going to say it on air. I hope
I
you had a
appreciate
great
it.
one.
Yes, I
Good. Did
did.
you do
Thank you.
anything in particular? Or?
No. I'm a busy mom, so I was just home for the most part with my son, and
Okay.
yeah, it was light. It was nice. It was nice though. Like
Okay. Good.
calming.
So, Ellie, the first thing I would like to do,
Hmm.
you have a song called Prologue,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Is that you that's speaking in the beginning of the song?
Hmm.
It is. Can you
It
talk
is.
to me a little bit about that particular song?
Yeah. So it was just pretty much the introduction to the EP.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is pretty much so the whole thing about Jaded Lawrence was it was, I guess you can say, mm, my thoughts about what transpired right before, pretty much audibly now. So
Mm-hmm.
I went through like a really so I have one child, right?
Okay.
So he's going to be 2 in October.
Nice.
And during when I first had him, I went through like a really, really bad postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
And that really triggered a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression about the future, a lot of just uncertainties and all that stuff, and a lot of traumas
Okay.
that like I guess I didn't I didn't deal with. I had no choice but to deal with.
Mhm.
um because that's what happens when you have kids. I guess you just see things that, like you didn't deal with. You're going to deal with it now. And
Right,
that's
right.
what ended up happening with me, but like intensely and at once. So it was a
Okay.
lot of healing and a lot of healing transpired during that time, and healing can be painful,
Mhm.
painful.
Mhm.
So that was what the prologue was about. It was just me introducing what happens I guess during this transformation. And
Mhm.
it was just a light introduction to the EP. That's
Okay.
basically.
So, do me a favor. Let's go back a little bit to maybe around your teenage years.
Yeah,
Can you talk a little bit about your teenage years? How was it growing up? You're from Long Island,
I'm from Long Island.
born and raised?
I was born in Manhattan. I have most of my family in the Bronx.
Okay.
And I moved to Long Island when I was 5. So I was
Okay.
raised
Okay.
here. So my teenage years was um it was rocky. It was
Mhm.
rocky. I I guess by default will call Long Island my home, but I never really related to a lot of the people that were raised here. I
Okay.
was one of the only minorities in my neighborhood, and that was a huge factor growing up because there was a
Mhm.
lot of coming from the Bronx to like
Mhm.
Suffolk County. It was just like a night and day.
Right.
um, So to constantly try to assimilate into something I wasn't was like a huge it was an annoyance.
Right. Right.
It was a huge
Shock.
thing. Yeah, so when
Mhm.
it comes to like my teenhood was like I don't want to compare it to like the emo phase, but that's
Mhm.
where I was. That's where I was. I was very angsty. I was very dramatic. I was not a happy teenager.
Okay.
Um and Yeah, no, it wasn't, and it was like that until I discovered music. I wasn't really the most like joyful person until I
Mhm.
discovered music, which was much, much, much later.
Okay. Okay. But now, when you say discovered music, do you mean as far as what you do now, as far as making music?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes,
So,
right.
before that, before we get to that part,
Yeah.
uh, was there music like as far as just being played in the house?
Yeah, like so my parents are Hispanic. Like my mom is from the Dominican Republic, my dad is Puerto Rican. So like um music was in the house 24/7. Like I was not able to escape it, but it was very like urbanized. So like,
Okay.
there was a lot of hip hop, there was a lot of R&B, there was a lot of, you know, that kind of music. It wasn't
Mhm.
until I guess started making friends here that I started venturing into the rock and the pop and the you
Okay.
know all those other genres. I was always into music, um, but I didn't. I was never into like the technicalities of it until later on when it came to the production and stuff. I was like music was always a form of like therapy for me,
Hmm.
like listening to it, particularly when I was a teenager. That's where that I can start with that. I started getting into instrumentals, like
Okay.
loops. I was obsessed with 1 hour loops on YouTube, particularly from like the Dilla loops. Like people would just like I
Okay.
don't know, take one of his tracks and just make stretch it into like a 1 hour loop, and I would use that for my homework. I would do that to finish my thesis papers. I would do that whenever I would be like depressed. I would just pop up YouTube, and back then they had like MP3 players.
Hmm.
So I would do a thing where I would like rip up the song off from YouTube, download it as an MP3, and then have it on my MP3 player, and I
Right.
would
Right.
just
Right.
be jamming to that.
Right. Right.
And yeah, so that's what kind of started um my journey into like I guess understanding music in a different like mindset. Like I
Okay.
was never like I was a lonely kid, so I was alone a lot. So
Hmm.
instrumentals and like kind of understanding how it works, like it I was allowed the time to think about like, oh, okay, so this is how this is how the beat kind of goes. This is how like this is how the intro goes. Like I learned all that on my own,
Okay.
just out of pure interest.
Right, right. Now, this is just you listening to music, kind of an escape for you at the same time. So, because you're listening to it so much, you're just naturally kind of picking up on it, but you're not yet even thinking about making music yet.
No.
Okay. So, take me a little bit through the time period as far as you just described that whole scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to school, I'm assuming. You're trying to figure out what you're going to do in life and stuff like that. What career path were you thinking about doing?
So, um, one of the things that was like the biggest hurdle was like, okay, so when I was 17, I started having seizures. And
Okay.
then when I was 18, 19, I was diagnosed with epilepsy.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
then I started having they weren't like the convulsive type of seizures, but they were like the ones where, like they were called like absence seizures, where I wasn't really conscious as to what was happening, then I would just snap out of it.
Mhm.
That would happen a lot. And so that when it came to school, that caused a huge disruption in how I like, so my 4-year degree, um, it stretched to almost 11 years. That's how long it took for me to get my degree because of all of like the
Yeah, yeah.
all the chaos and all that stuff. But I
Hmm.
got it. I got my degree,
Right.
which was in human development.
Oh, okay.
Um, I was really into psychology at first. That was my first major as so I have my associates in psychology and I have
Okay.
my bachelor's in human development. Um, I've always been into how like the mind works. And I was always into how like especially on like the emotive side, the emotional side. I was so my path, I was always all over the place because I never really felt like I had like a each path was always there was always a barrier, whether it be financial, whether it be you know just lack of jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
Um So I was lost. So I would job hop. I was
Hmm.
job hopping. So I stayed as like a special education teaching assistant for like 10 years.
Okay.
Um until I had my son.
Okay.
And after that I never went back, and that's when I started doing like the music full time. Full time.
Okay.
And that's where I am now.
So we're as far as when you stopped teaching, that was around what year are we talking about?
That was 2023. That's when I quit.
Oh, so it's recent. It's really
Yeah.
recent.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before you quit, were you dabbling with the music yet, or
I was, but
okay,
not seriously. Not seriously. That was during the pandemic. So,
okay, okay, makes
so,
sense.
so during the pandemic, school was shut down,
Yeah, yeah,
and since it was the first time, like the schools were doing virtual, no one knew what we were doing. So I was kind of like twiddling my thumbs most of the time that I should be working because we were all home.
right,
Um, so that's when I decided to venture into like how to make music. And that's what I looked up. I think I Googled like how to make music. Um, and there were different types, right? Because I was really into instrumentals, but I didn't know how to play live, so I don't know how to do that.
okay,
Um, like when it comes to live instrumentals. So
mhm,
that's when I went to Instagram and I started following a whole bunch of like underground producers that were doing like the MIDI and the samplers and all that stuff. I
right,
was
right.
I was really really entranced by that, and I started off as just a fan. I was just a fan. I didn't like I was like a spectator. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh, wow, this is great." And then it wasn't until like a fellow producer, he was like, "Have you ever thought of creating your own beats?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "Why?" And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, "Okay, well," and then he showed me that there's different types of DAWs. There's FL Studios, there's Logic, and there's Ableton and all that
mhm,
stuff. And for some reason, I gravitated towards Ableton.
okay,
And I was like, I'm going to try this. So I did. And I didn't think I was going to be as good as I was
Right,
as
right.
it to start, I guess, when it came to the sampling. So like I downloaded Ableton and I got this like I'm obsessed with keyboards. So I
Okay.
got this Autoria Keylab 49 keys and I was using that. And so for the most part, I wasn't even into chopping or anything like that. I was just making melodies, you know, like
Hmm.
as if it was just like a piano. Like so I
Right,
was
right.
just, you know, and I was dabbling into that and I was doing pretty good. I was doing like it was good. It was good. And I think it was the end of I ended up releasing a couple of songs, a few songs actually. Um and I was excited about that, but I was still very insecure and I wanted the people that I guess I was closest to, I
Hmm.
wanted them to like hear what I was making
Right.
and their reactions kind of I guess at the time I didn't really think like, okay, just because like they are like cool with me, they don't have to be fans. But I took their word as like, okay, if they say it's trash, so it must be trash. And
Not you're talking about not on Instagram. You mean people that you actually know and
family.
friend? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And I didn't so that really deterred me a
Right.
lot. And like it was so it was like a relative that I was like going back and forth about and they were like, this is not even, you know, they're older. So when it comes to things involving music, they were like, Elizabeth, like, you know, this is a, you know, you got to think about your profession. This is not
Yeah,
really a
yeah,
job, you know, like just all this stuff that I didn't want to hear. I was like,
right.
but look at what I'm doing though. And they're like, yeah, but you know, you got to be realistic about your expectations and da da da. And I was always like, when it comes to certainty, like I always gravitated towards that because
Mhm.
that's like a defense mechanism. Like anything that's certain, even if it's, but I guess I like it's not until later on that I realized that like um comfortability does not mean that you're growing and that's what I had to like really keep in mind
Okay.
that, you know, I understood their point, but they don't have to see the vision that I do when it comes to what I like envision my future, how it looks like and all that stuff. So, and I feel like when it comes to certain people, when it comes to realistic expectations, like what may be realistic for them may not be the real like may not be reality for me,
Right,
you know.
right, right, right. But let me ask you. So you quit the teaching. We're in the pandemic. You're dabbling with the beats,
Mhm.
and but now, what are you thinking about as far as okay? So like I'm dabbling with the beats. I'm playing around with creating music. But what is it that I'm going to actually do with this? Did you even have an idea yet? Like,
No.
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 So you just literally took a leap of faith and said, you know, but I love this. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna work at it, and
Yeah.
then see what
So,
happens.
uh, yeah. So what ended up happening was like when they convinced me that it wasn't right, and this was like the end of 2021. So it was like from the beginning of 2020 to
Right,
the end of
right.
2021. I was active. I was actively like, you know, doing what I was doing now, but like, you know, as a beginner.
Uh huh.
Um, and once they said something, I took all my music down. I closed my like Instagram account. I was like, okay, fine. I was like very, very, very like that conversation really
Yeah.
messed me up. So I was
Okay.
like, okay. So I ended up going back to work as a teaching assistant.
Hmm.
And I went to what I was doing because it was after like as so the beginning of 2022, the ban was lifted when it comes to like stuff. So everything was kind of back to normal when it came to school.
Okay. Right, right.
Um, so it was easier for me to just jump back in like it
Hmm.
was nothing. And I didn't think about music until I got knocked up. And then once I had my son, I realized, okay, because I guess like when it came to the support system that I thought I had,
Right, right.
um, it fell apart in a way. So I was stuck with my son like 24/7 because my husband was working
Okay.
and we had no one else.
Hmm.
So like I was literally like trapped 24/7 with my son, just nonstop, nonstop, not that kind of added to the
Hmm.
depression and all that
Hmm.
stuff because I
Hmm.
really had no one around me.
Hmm.
Um, and what ended up happening was like I was like, okay, this I had to go back into music. It was like for my sanity,
Hmm.
for my peace, for everything, for like trying to figure out what my future was supposed to like look because it was not supposed to look like this.
Right, right.
Um, I had other plans, and then life likes to life.
Right, right,
Um,
right. It happens.
so I had to use music was like a tool for me to really keep sane, and also with like Instagram, it allowed me to keep connecting while I was dealing with my depression, dealing with the new experiences that I was dealing with. Um, and it really really helps. So like the music thing at the time I wasn't really using it um to reach a certain thing. It was literally for me to connect with the people that I used to connect with when I
Hmm.
was making music the first time.
Right, 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 right. But
Yeah.
you always had something. You always knew somehow, some way that music was a I mean, besides make you feel good, but it was also an escape, and it kind of gave you a little bit of sanity, I guess you could say, a little comfort. Like
Hmm.
you knew that regardless somehow.
Regardless, in the back of
Okay, so
yeah.
now, uh, besides the music, when you were going through that phase that you were talking about, as far as the depression, you have your son and everything. Did you look for outside help besides the music?
Hmm.
Meaning, whether it was therapy or
Like, yeah, I ended up
okay,
getting into therapy, and
okay.
it worked for a
Did
while.
it?
Yeah, it honestly like it helped. Like I was doing that at the same time of making music, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what allowed me to it was because of like therapy that like I grew the
The comp,
courage to
uh,
do like the live
the
shows and to
confidence.
the
Right, right, right,
yeah
right, right.
um
Can I ask you? And remember, this is pre-recorded. Anything that you don't want
yeah
out there, I
yeah
don't have to put.
okay.
But I'm just curious. When you were going to the therapy,
Mhm.
I'm assuming you probably mentioned about the music and that how that right. Uh, were they were they supportive in the sense of encouraging to continue with the music or to take
Yeah,
yeah
they yes, I would say so.
okay
I think they were actually more supportive than I thought that they would, to be
okay, that's what
honest.
I was just kind of curious about.
Yeah,
Okay,
like I
okay.
feel like I don't think I would have we would have been like as good of like clients and
You
therapists
might have
like
quit
connect.
going if they told you stop.
Hell yeah, yeah, yeah. Seriously, that's like telling a painter not to paint anymore. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah.
Who are you?
Okay. All right. So you get okay. So you get everything. You're back on Instagram. You're doing music again. How
Hmm.
long does it take, more or less, or have you even gotten to that point?
Yeah.
But are you at a point now that you can deal with everything? You're not really in that same space as far as the depression and everything. Like, have you gotten past that, or is it still a work in progress?
It's still a work in
It's still a
progress.
work. It,
It's still a work in
is it
progress. I'm getting
something?
there.
Is it
Like,
something that you think that it's how can I explain it? Like, I guess it's a work in progress. Do you feel that at some point you'll be, I guess, I don't know, I guess the same better terms, like sort of done with it? Or
yeah.
is it just a continuous thing that that we have to work on? Sometimes it's easy to fall back into these things is what I'm trying
Yeah,
to get
no,
at.
for sure. I think in my case, it's mostly circumstantial. So once I'm out
Okay.
of this circumstance, I think I'll be okay. Like,
Okay.
my son is young. He's not gonna be young forever. He's
Hmm.
gonna be growing, and things are gonna be a lot easier for me.
Right.
Um, and I think once I have a better picture of how the future is going to be like,
Hmm.
because that's another like factor is the uncertainty of like the economy, the uncertainty of like the government. That really, really messes with me sometimes because I have my son, like he's not special needs, he's high need, meaning like he's always
Yeah,
um
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's someone that I feel like would need like some services as he gets older. Um
Right.
so when it comes to things involving that, like I'm always thinking about his future. Like his future is like my main
It's your
concern.
life.
Some
Right.
yes.
Right.
So that adds like stress onto my plate. So once
Of
I have
course.
like a better picture, like because right now I feel like my vision for the future is kind of like it's kind of short sighted. It's like
Hmm.
fog.
Hmm.
So once that fog kind of clears and I have like a better idea of like how like where this path is heading, I think I'll be like more better. But I know it's there. I just can't see it right now.
Right. So do
Yeah.
you have anybody that's helping you with the music side of things as far as maybe, uh, I don't want to say manager, but just somebody that is maybe helping you along the way as far as how to do things, how to move about in the music, how to play, placements or
I have
anything like that?
people giving me insight on like a regular basis, but not one person in particular. I don't
Like
have
part of a
some.
team or something.
Mm-mm,
Okay. So it's
mm-mm.
pretty much yourself that's doing everything with the help of whether it's your community on Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I
Got
do.
you.
Yeah, only because like I'm not in a place where I can like have some kind of organization at the moment since everything is kind of all over the place. I'm just kind
Yeah.
of doing what I can
Hmm. Yeah.
until, things change.
Right. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. I'm doing the same
Yeah.
thing with this. I totally get it. I'm just curious because and we'll talk a little bit more, but I do see, you have some music. For example, I use Apple Music and I found you on there. You have things going. There's different things that you're doing. So I just was
Yeah.
curious, how you're moving around with this. So okay, we might bounce around a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that part of what we're talking about. What was the first piece of equipment that you bought to start even playing around with making music?
It was the
The keyboard?
Arturia Key Lab. Yep.
That was the
The keyboard.
first. That was
That
the
was the
first
first.
actual piece of equipment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you walk me a little bit through? So you go, you purchase this piece of equipment. What do you do with it?
So
You self-taught?
yeah. So
Okay.
okay, so I don't know if it's like so I have a thing about me where I have a tendency to bounce like okay, so like I ooh, okay, so I had the tutorials like down packed. Like I had them all set up. I was like, all right, I'm gonna like I remember like with Ableton, there was like there's a channel that had like I don't know like it was a playlist, but it was like 200 videos from like beginning to end of like the tutorials of
Right.
Ableton. So I did what I normally do is like I looked through the first like three or four, and I just I hop around and I'm looking at Ableton. I'm like I think I got it. I don't need all these tutorials, so I just end up learning stuff on my own,
Okay.
and I just venture around, but um. I just end up learning how to navigate the DAW. I guess it's a little differently the way that some other people do it, I guess. Only because I don't do things traditionally in the sense of like how it's shown. I don't
Right.
know if it's like an attention thing. I don't know. But I make music. Like it was
Yeah.
working. It was working. So I
Right.
was like, so what I did was I started with creating so Ableton had a whole bunch of like stock sounds, and I was just like messing with like the keyboard aspect, so making melodies with that. And then they had a whole bunch of drum kits, and I was trying to learn how to drum. That wasn't working well. I
Mhm.
use, for the most part, with my music, I use drum loops. I don't make my own drums. I usually
Okay.
use like so I'm like obsessed with drum loops. But if I can get to the point where I can make my own, I won't need those. But I never got to that point. But that was like one of my first plans when I started making beats.
So
That just never happened. And
okay.
then
Yet.
and yet,
Okay.
yes. And then so what ended up happening was like there was a sample that I used. It was like a soul sample that they like a stock soul sample
Mhm.
that I just wanted to use uh without chopping it or anything, just to see how it would be like if I just laid a drum loop on top of it too. Because that's how I feel like some people start sometimes is to, say if you have different stems, like see
Mm-hmm.
how they sound if
Right,
you're,
right, right.
Um, and from there, uh, I learned how to chop. It was like there was like a feature that said slice. So I was like, what happens when I do that? And then once I did that, I saw like some of the lights on the keyboard like pop up. I was like, oh, okay. So when I and it just kind of started from there. So I was just going as just moving along as I went, and then I ended up it was a sample that I chopped into four slices.
Okay.
And that was my first song. It was called Baby Steps.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
the samples you're getting how?
Those were stock samples.
Stock
So
samples.
so
Okay.
it was just like embedded in the
At the time,
Ableton.
okay.
Hmm.
What about now?
Now I use so the royalty free sites like Splice and Lander and Tracklib and
For the samples?
hmm hmm
Okay, okay.
that's what I
That's
normally
interesting.
use.
Okay, no, that's cool because one of my questions at some point I wanted to ask you because, like I said, you have music out there, and I was going to ask you, have you ever had any problems or issues with the samples?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even though you're
yeah.
using the.
Yes, yeah. I still come across it like from time to time. There was
Oh wow,
even
okay,
it was on Instagram actually. Like
really?
so there was I was collaborating with this like it was a lamp company that they wanted me like to do like an affiliation thing.
Okay.
And it was like a thing where I was like making one of my reels like I typically do, but I was featuring the lamp in the background. Once I posted that, this was actually I want to say this was like April of this year.
Oh wow.
Um, it was working. I posted it and it was fine. And then like 4 hours later, I get a thing saying that they muted the whole thing because of
Yeah, yeah,
copyright.
yeah, yeah. Right, right,
And then
right.
I'm like,
Hmm.
then I realized I was like, okay, so what people do is they do so they will take the sample that I like that people use for royalty free, like, that everyone is paying for, and they're claiming it as their own and they're using content ID. And one thing about like content ID is like there's no one really checking whether or not like these people actually own the rights to the sound that everyone is using, that everyone pays for. Um
Okay,
so
okay.
now we're like it's like a weird battle where people can just claim what people like own as their own and no one is like checking them. So that's what ended up happening was even though I chopped it up, I chopped up that sample pretty good too.
So, wait, hold on. Let me see if I understand this. So you get a sample that you're paying for, right? Like for a
Hmm.
royalty. But then there's somebody that's out there that will claim that that sample is theirs.
It's called Content ID. So if you're using like a distributor like DistroKid, like you can use that as a feature. Like so say if you release a song through DistroKid, there's something called like if you want to enable Content ID.
Yeah.
And so it will make it so like anyone who uses or similar to that sound like releases a song, they can get a strike, they can get it shut down, they can,
Even though that person used this.
hmm
Wow.
yeah, it's really really messed up. So that was like a oh okay.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Right. 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 Wow. So you have to even. So you have to really chop even the royalty free stuff. I
yes,
mean, I'm
yeah,
saying like to try to hide.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
Not
what
even
ended
that.
up?
You gotta
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no. So like, what ends up happening is that you have to really alter it
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to an integrity.
Now,
Yeah.
what happened with that? With the video for that you collaborated with?
So no. So I ended up. I was like, okay, well, there's no point in me leaving it up there if it's just going to like be
What
what was
did
it
muted? Yeah, they like
yeah
they
muted.
muted. Yeah. Yeah.
Um.
Did you have
So
to do another one?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up having to do another one, but it was just annoying because I tried to contact Instagram and Instagram never got back to me as to like whether or not it was a
To
problem.
dispute it or something. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was very
Yeah.
annoying. but it was kind of crazy because it's like I wasn't getting paid for the reel itself. So it's like, what difference is it if okay, so for example, there even if I were to like chop a famous like I don't know, a famous sample, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are some that even if I were to post it on Instagram, I will still get it muted.
Mm-hmm.
Why, I don't know. Like it's just kind of like
It's
it's just not touchable at all. Like
yeah.
you can't use it. But
Right,
it's
right,
like
right, right,
even
right.
if people are using it for free, like
Yeah,
I don't
that doesn't make sense to me. But that,
know.
I don't know. I guess there's always a way of doing. People find a way to always, you know what I mean? I think that might be the first time that I heard that somebody claims that this is mine, even though they paid for it from a royalty free that anybody can use.
The fact that it's legal is
That's
crazy. It's
yeah,
like,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
So all right, I mean that's cool. But so first, you get the keyboard first. You play around with that. Where do you go from there?
So from there, I created it was like a few more beats
Mm-hmm.
with the same like stock sounds. I was really into like it was called like it's called chill hop, but it's kind of like
Mm-hmm,
similar to the
mm-hmm.
lo-fi. Like I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
really heavily into that back in during that time. So I was trying to I guess trying to not
And
really imitate their sounds, but just kind of learn from them.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it just wasn't flowing right for some reason.
yeah.
I guess like no matter how many times I would try to like emulate,
Uh,
I it would just end up turning into something more like me. And I would take that more of like I didn't think of that as like a compliment more than it is like a good thing, if that makes sense. So
so you said it would turn into more of you. You said,
yeah,
but
so like
what is that?
so like say if I someone were to like okay, say if an artist was like, okay, can you make me a beat that, you know, Jay-Z would rap on?
Okay,
I'm
okay,
like, okay.
like can you make me a Dillis type beat?
Yeah, I can't do
But
that.
you can't. Okay,
I
okay, I get
can't.
you. I
So
got it.
it's
I got it.
like yeah,
So
so
you were coming
that
up
would
with your own identity in a way, kind of.
yes, and I didn't think that would really frustrate me because I would think like, you know, I didn't know at the time like when it comes to at least the underground scene, like you're able to make your own identity. Like you're not supposed
Right,
to
right,
really
right,
like
right.
imitate in that sense because it's about you and your identity with your music. So, but I wasn't really about that at the time. I wanted to be,
You-
I was a little younger, so I was like, I want to make some beats that, you know, like you know, the people up top would be rapping on or singing on and all
right,
that stuff.
right, right, right,
And
right.
um, I wasn't able to produce that yet.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So what? You're getting frustrated because you can't do that. So what do you know, what's going through your mind? What do you, what's
So that was around the time that I ended up quitting. So that
quitting?
the thing for like that time gap, like
Okay,
it was
okay.
when I was presenting to my loved ones, like thinking like, you know, like
That's when you, okay. Okay.
yeah.
So between you feeling like I'm not accomplishing what I'm trying to do, maybe I'm failing, plus they're
Hmm.
giving me this feedback, maybe they're right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
What, you explained how you got back into it.
Hmm.
You explained that. But when you get back into it, what's the difference now? You know what I mean? What's the difference at that point as far as you saying, you know what, like what gave you the confidence to move forward?
So in the beginning, I honestly okay, so like this time around, I was honestly thinking like, what do I have to lose at this point?
Okay, okay,
And that's
okay.
honestly what I was thinking. I was like, okay, so like it was around a time where like due to my circumstances, like I had no choice but to create space between the people that I was usually surrounded with and,
Right.
you know, like what I was doing now. And
Okay.
um so the fact that I didn't have other input
Hmm.
really made me focus on like what I can do with this.
Okay.
Because I really had nothing else to lose. I was like, okay, since I had my son at the moment, like he was like a
Uh-huh.
I think he was 2 months when I made my first beat. He was 2 months old.
Too much.
I
Okay.
was it was like a complete blur during that moment, but it was again to stay sane and me thinking like, what literally do I have to lose? Like
Okay.
yeah. So it was more of like a survival thing. And did I have visions of like what I can do with it? Yeah. That was when I was thinking like, okay, maybe I can plan a business around it. Maybe I can,
Mm-hmm.
you know, venture that route. But I didn't realize that one, it would take as long as it did. That's another thing. I had to learn patience. Like,
Patience. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I, I didn't it was like a wake up call to think like, okay, like if you're going to be in the music business, like things take time. Things take time.
Of
Like I
course.
didn't think that like it would be I didn't think that it would be instantaneous, but I didn't think it would take this
That,
amount of effort and this
right,
amount of
right,
time.
right.
Um Now I know. I didn't think about that in the beginning.
Okay.
And I guess the people I was surrounded by at the moment, they think that they know about the business, but they have no freaking clue either.
Right.
So they're just thinking from the outside. But so when I first made it was like a house beat. It was called Jade. Um
Okay.
I was really into I don't know what made me I was honestly now that I'm thinking about it, because again, I was like in a different like state of mind. I was just literally producing just to produce.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
just just
Yeah.
like I guess to
It's,
remind myself that like I was more than just this like um uh, mom machine.
uh-huh.
Like I was I also it was like a way for me to remember like, okay, yes, I'm a mom, but I have my own identity that I have to hold on to
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
always.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
yeah, so that's what led me to that.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you remember when at this point
Hmm.
when you create, you mentioned the house beat,
Yeah.
uh, but which was the one that I don't know whether you put it out on Instagram or show someone or whatever that everybody like you got that kind of like that stamp of approval.
It was when it was called it was one of the first okay, so it was one of the first beats that I first samples that I messed with uh that I got through Splice. That's when I first discovered Splice. I didn't
Okay.
have Splice before that.
Okay.
And that opened a whole world of sounds, of ways to like manipulate sounds
Uh-huh.
and all
Uh-huh.
that stuff like that I think me sorry
Mm-hmm.
when it came to I guess me messing with that and the combination of that and like actively talking to like members of the underground hip hop community,
Mm-hmm.
that really got me like um that really kind of settled the fact that I was on the right path,
You're
on
on to
the right.
something. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes,
Got
it
you, got
wasn't
you.
until yeah. If I didn't have the community, I don't think I would be in this boat,
It's
to be honest.
yeah,
Because like the people that you surround yourself when it comes to like
yeah.
uh I guess fields like this,
Mm-hmm.
it matters a lot.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. For sure.
So if it weren't for everyone, I would not be in this position.
Right, right.
Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. Nah.
Now, from that point to, because I saw you collaboration with you and Still Jones,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Still Jordan. Yeah.
What's the time frame between that point that you just described and then having that collaboration with Still Jones?
That was so when I started getting back into it, that was I want to say 7 months in and into like coming back to the grand scheme of things, like
Right, right,
getting
right,
back
right.
into the rolling.
So
Yeah.
7 months later, that collaboration happens?
I believe so. Yes. Yes.
About more,
Yeah.
more or less, more or less.
Yeah,
Right, right,
more or
right.
less. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because when I'm
Yeah.
looking through your videos and I'm listening to all the music, whatever, and I stumbled upon that one, I was like, okay, this is what it would sound like. I mean, like
Yeah.
you hear the beats and the beats are dope and
It's
everything,
not
but
until yeah, no, he hit me up on Instagram. Like so I first I created a reel with that beat first.
okay.
He hit me up after that and he was like, I have words for that. I was like, oh, okay.
But did you have any connection with him prior?
No,
No. Was he
no.
somebody that you knew was following you on this, or
Yeah, like he would post some stuff that I was like, oh, this is cool, and
okay, okay.
yeah. So it was like a like we would like have a conversation about music and all that stuff, and that's when like
Mm-hmm.
that came about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was my first time hearing, I guess, like vocals on my music. I was never really into that kind of. Okay, so um, fun fact, like in a way, I don't know if you would consider me still having it, but I had really, really, really like huge synesthesia when I was younger.
Okay.
So before I was able to like read, when I would listen to music, like particularly instrumentals, I would see colors like vividly, vividly.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, yeah. So like that's why like the connection I have with music is crazy. But like um once I learned how to read, that kind of went away. Um so the lyrics would now take over how I thought about the song, which is why I would lean more towards the instrumental as I got older, because I was like, I want this effect like to not go away, because the lyrics they mean everything in a track.
Okay.
Um so
Well,
yeah.
wait, hold on. Before you continue, can you so you said you would see colors. Can you explain that a little bit, maybe for somebody that might be listening and
Sure, sure,
doesn't
sure.
understand what you're saying?
So synesthesia is just like it's it's so the way that like I do with music, like with music would it would just like trigger either, you know how like some people would get chills when they listen to music. That's another like sense that music was triggering it within your system that just caused that effect. And
Mm,
it's kind of how I see like synesthesia. It kind of
mhm.
so I will give you an example. There was a song called I think it was Hadaway. It was like What is Love?
Okay.
Um for some reason when I was younger, when I heard that song, I saw like I wouldn't it was like a purplish magenta color. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I that was just the color that I would that would just pop up. So whenever I would see that magenta Barney type of color, I would think of What is Love by Hadaway. I don't know why though. Same thing with like there was it's always when I was younger, because again I couldn't read at the time. So
Right, right.
things like Spring Love by Stevie B, like those like for some reason that triggered like the chrome color. Chrome as like metal. I
Yeah.
don't know why. It would so whenever I would like think of those kind of like beats,
Mm-hmm.
I think of the color chrome,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
steel.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
don't
Like
know.
a, right, 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 right.
Yeah, it's it's
S-
it's weird.
Now, did you say it doesn't happen now?
Not as much.
Not as much.
No, because
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't
So
anymore.
it's something that was when you were younger. It's some kind of yeah. That's really interesting. I got to look more into that.
Yeah, like
I
that.
gotta
It
look more into
really,
that. There was something probably that's just in tune when you were younger
for
that
sure.
triggered. You know what I mean? That it's
Yeah,
probably part of the innocence. That's so cool.
it
That's so
is.
cool.
It is, man. Like
Okay.
it just goes to show that there's just certain things that like it's just I don't know. I feel like there's just certain kids that just kind of have a connection with music
Yeah, 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 yeah.
that no one really sees, no one really understands, but
Mm-hmm.
them.
Right, 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 right. All
Yeah.
right, that's cool. So sorry. I mean, continue
No,
as far.
no, it's all good.
Um, you said he hits you up. He told you he
Yeah.
has words for that particular track. When he
Yes.
says that to you, what are you thinking?
I
Were
was
you?
like, okay, because like I wasn't going to say no. I've always wanted a collab. I just didn't know how to navigate. I just didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know what. It's just like when it comes to like artists hitting me up about like the music that I make and whether or not like we can collab. I don't really see the vision that they do until they tell me, until
Mm,
they say it out loud, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I think so we were talking and he was like, can you just like so I agreed to hear how it would sound like.
right.
And I honestly forgot how the conversation went, but
Mm,
he he sent me his part, and I was like, oh snap, like, this is actually really good. Like this is really, really, really good. And then he asked me if I could just like send him, I guess, like it was like a 3 minute extension of that same like loop,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
and that's how we ended up creating that collab. Like it was awesome.
So when you hear when you heard the final, his vocals over your beat, that's the first time that you hear somebody over one, right? How did that feel?
That was dope.
It
It
was,
was
yeah.
dope. It was dope. And there was like I didn't, it just opened my mind to possibilities of things. It kind of reminded me not to like keep such a closed door when it comes to like what my music could sound like.
Okay.
Um because other people have different visions of it. That's why I love when people like say like, like um say like, okay, there are people, I get these a lot, is people will DM me like clips of them like rapping over my reels.
Okay,
Eh,
okay, like just yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
that gets me so pumped. I'm like, oh my god, like do you like I just
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it just yeah.
ha- now, have you I don't know if I should ask you that. Have you
Oh,
came across any that somebody did like they just do it and send it to you like look and you're kind of like
all the time.
I'm not
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. I get a few of those, and
yeah.
it's like, um, and with that, I still appreciate the
No,
enthusiasm,
of course, of course, of
but
course.
I get a lot that I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't collaborate. Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna work. It's
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah, yeah.
work.
But it's interesting too because you don't necessarily make the beats with that in mind. You know what I mean? It's not
Mhm.
like you're saying, "Oh, I could hear such and such rhyming off it." You just make what comes to you. And so yeah, that's what I think was so cool about that collab with Still Jones. It
Yeah.
just it just it felt natural, like it just felt organic. That
Yeah,
was
thank
kind of
you.
cool.
Thank you.
So after that happens, uh, anything else came about? Did you do first of all, did you do
Yeah.
anything else with him?
No, that was the first and last thing.
First and
Uh,
last.
yeah,
Any
like we
possibilities of?
maybe I'm always open to it. Like we're still cool and all that stuff. I just dabble into like he also collabs with a whole bunch of people. I
Yeah,
collab
yeah.
with a whole bunch of people.
Okay.
Um, it was, let me
Okay.
see.
So
So I think it was before that though. It was like before that. Okay, so after my Jaded Laura CP,
mhm,
right? Um, which was the first thing I released, I believe. It was the first thing I released like after like the hiatus that I was.
mhm,
It was a Jaded Laura CP. After that, there was a collaboration I did, and it's on like most platforms. Um, it was a remix with this EDM producer called Koala GC, and it's Chinooks.
mhm.
Um, it was my first time dabbling, like seeing what I can do with my sound and transforming it, like, cause his music is all like electronic, is EDM and
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff. And I made it into like this. I don't even know how to. It's one of my favorite collabs.
Right,
It's called
right. So
yeah.
wait, so are you making the beat the way you normally would, and he was taking it and
No,
converting it?
yeah, no. So it was, he already released like his version of it, and he was like, he sent me the wave of that one, and he was like, can you remix this? And I was like, hell yeah. So
Oh,
so
okay,
that's what I
okay.
ended up. Yeah, that's how I started getting acquainted with like remixing and all that stuff. And I was like, I think I can do this. This is fun. Like it was.
Okay.
I was proud of my skills in that department for
And
sure.
this is all self-taught.
Yes, yes. Um,
Nice.
yeah, I think like I'm not gonna say I'm like not good at a lot of things. I'm not saying that, but I
Mhm,
say like when it comes to like just certain things,
mhm.
um, I could say like music is the only thing I can say with confidence that I'm like I'm good at this shit.
Yeah.
Everything else I'm like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but music is the one thing that like I have closed the door when it comes to people like trying to tell me otherwise as to like whether or not I belong in this like space. I do. I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
very
yeah,
much.
yeah. Where does the where do you find the confidence and the no when it comes to that?
I think it just has to do with what I've always kind of thought in the back of my head. Like, okay, so I was kind of raised to um have other people's opinions like matter a lot,
Right, right, right,
a
right,
lot, a lot.
right, right.
And after I had my son, that had to change. Like when it came to things involving my needs, involving like my mental health, when it comes, I had to make all of those a priority because my son depended on it. Like he can't have an unhealthy mom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I had to retrain myself as to what is right for me, what is good for me, what is good for my future versus what other people may expect of me.
Yeah, yeah.
um I had to turn that off for my sanity, for my son's health, for my health, for just pretty much i had to I had to change that.
Okay.
So when it came to whether or not this is my path, I'm like, this is the only thing I can think of that really makes sense to me is the music I create. Even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else, that's the one thing that's like my haven. Like this the 404 is legit like a
Yeah, yeah.
it's like my journal. I use it for everything. Everything. Like
So,
that. It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Let people know what the 404 is, just in case.
Yeah, no. So the SB, the Roland SB 404 is a
Uh-huh.
sampler. Um
Is that your
that
next piece that you get after the keyboard?
yes,
It
yes.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I
No?
lied. I lied. It's the Akai MPK Mini, which is like another like it's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
It's a cute little keyboard. Like it's a good MIDI controller, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
like it it's okay. I wanted
Okay.
a sampler this time. I was like, I want something portable. I wanted something that like
You have it right
doesn't.
there next to you too?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm gonna take it out so I can show the camera.
That's that's
But
that's that's so cool.
yeah, no,
No, I mean because you're just saying how much you love it and everything. This is like it's right there next to you.
yeah,
It's like so.
yeah, no, like when I was like, so right
There
there,
you
this
go.
SB 404, yes,
There you
like
go.
this I this was like the best purchase I've made this year for sure. Like this thing, I
Yeah.
love it. Yes.
All
So
right. So for again, for anybody watching that's not too sure, not familiar, what does that machine allow you to do?
so it allows you to you can create your own samples, you can create your own beats. You're pretty much creating your own beats. It's a resampler. So
Mm-hmm.
you can import samples or just, any sounds that you may have came across on the internet or anything like you can import it onto the 404
Mm-hmm.
and you can manipulate it. You can chop it up, you can resample it, you can repattern it into like a whole different song. There's a lot of things you can do on it and it's amazing. It's amazing. No.
Okay. Now, have you done a majority of your work on there?
Lately, yeah.
Yeah.
I bought this in March and I've created probably like I want to say probably 50 beats now with this thing.
Nice.
Um but one of the things that now that you think of like now that okay, so um the thing that I'm starting to kind of not really like starting to understand is there are certain artists that will come up to me and they'll be like, I really like that beat that you created on the 404. How much is it? I'm like, oh yeah, no, sure, we'll talk. And they're like, can you make this like 2 verses or 3 verses? And this one, I'm like, no. Um only because I'm like, that's my pet peeve is when they're like, yeah, I really like this beat. Let me get it. And I send it to them. And they're like, can you extend it? No. Um
Well,
so when it comes to that kind of stuff, I have to work on that. But a lot of artists they want like an actual song.
like the
Like,
song structure of it. But
yeah.
when you say no, do you mean no that you don't know how to do it, or know
No.
that you just like this is
And
how
then
it's this is how it is. This is what you
now
get.
as in this is how it is, this is you're gonna get them. Yeah, no,
Okay.
because yeah, I don't have a lot of time to start like, especially if they heard it in full and they're like, yeah, I like it. I'm like, okay, cool.
Then do what you're gonna
Let's
do.
go. And then that's
Yeah.
when they're like, can you make no? No, like the sale has been already made. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Um I don't that's so a lot of my beats don't really follow that pattern.
This, yeah,
The
like a
structure.
song
The
structure, verse,
structure.
chorus, verse, or
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Because I lean towards the I'm free forming. Like these are my thoughts. Like I don't really try to
yeah.
formulate it unless I'm already having an idea in mind
Mm-hmm.
of like an album or a song release that I want to do. Um
Right,
that's what I
right,
normally
right.
do it. But a lot of the reels, so the reels that I post, I created the same day. Like I post the beat. So this is how
Oh
like
wow,
my
okay.
yeah. So
Wow.
since I don't like have a lot of time like to myself, I try to utilize it as much as I can. So
Mhm.
I only have like I don't know like 30-minute hour or an hour time slot. So I try to so what I do is I create the beat on the 404. I make sure it's like it's streaming, so like my camera's recording it, so I have the footage and the music at the same time. And from there I import that song. Either I import it and I save it and I figure out what I do next with it. Sometimes I so like say if I want to make like a sale or something, that's when I'll post a reel. Or say if I want to do a promo, that's when I post a
That's
reel.
okay.
Yeah, so there's like a method
It's
to
a
what I'm
method,
doing.
right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
an extent.
Right, 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 right.
But a lot of it
It's
is
kind of you're doing your what you want to do, but
mhm,
no, but yeah, it makes sense. It makes total sense. At the
yeah,
same
like
time, there has to be a purpose also. I mean, it's what you,
yeah, no.
yeah.
I know that some people are like, a lot of people are very opinionated as to how I should go about, my music business, and I'm like, I am trying to survive right now. I'm
Again,
taking day by day.
it's yeah, and you know what? At the same time, it's back to what you just said about the people around you that have opinions on this and that or whatever. Sometimes you have to put those
Yeah,
blinders
seriously.
on and yeah, thank you for the advice, but I'm doing this.
Yeah, that's what I gotta do. I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
do.
yeah. It makes sense. So let's see. You also we'll get back. I want to talk more about the machine, but
Yeah, all good.
cranberry sauce.
Mhm.
You put that out in what was that, 2024 or so?
Yeah, it was like Thanksgiving time.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Okay. And then again in 2024, Mama's Whistle.
Yes.
So
Yes,
you're
yes,
pretty
yes.
busy in 2024.
I was. I was really trying my best to push myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was a very like last year was very like I was very doubtful as to what I was doing, and I was
Uh-huh.
like in order for me to kind of push those thoughts out of my head, I just had to be consistent with it. So I had no time for doubt in my
Uh-huh.
head. Um and that's what I ended up doing. And
How was the feedback on those projects?
it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. Like
Okay.
it was one of those things where like I put less emphasis on what other people thought about the releases at least.
Uh-huh.
Like for some reason like if things are the songs I release um I try not to ask like how well, no, like if people ask me like tell me what they think about it, of course I'm going to like I would love to hear it, but
Right.
I don't really ask for constructive criticism if they're already released unless I like actively want to like critique it, only
Yeah.
because I know that in my head, it takes me like a while to release things. And once it's out there, I'm like, okay, it's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. Like
It's
once it's
the
out there,
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like, okay, on to the next like project, on to the next thing. Because I think the release of the project, that's the last step. I don't want to think about it after that unless it's to reminisce about it. Like that's it.
Right, right, right.
um,
How's
yeah.
2025 going so far as music? I mean, I know I see you have some singles out, but how's 2025 looking as far as any
2025 had
projects coming out?
Yeah, 2025 has been like it's been the most eventful musically.
Hmm.
That's the my first. I think I went to I've three live shows I've done so far. Three and versus like never. I've never done a live show before until
Okay.
this year. This year,
A live show
as in like a live performance, like at a venue,
at
like
a
a
venue.
bar. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Sorry, but this digital, live on
Trust me.
TikTok,
I
Twitch.
know. Yeah, no, like an in person,
Okay,
like an
okay.
event, like that. I've never done that before until this year.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about like one of the
Yeah,
events as far as, how did that come about?
yeah, sure. So the first event was at my local record store in on it's called a Buddha Belly Records in Sayville. Um and they so we were talking, and he hosts this like it was like a producer showcase thing.
Hmm.
And um it was on 404 day that
Okay.
and I was like, okay, this is the perfect time for me to like show what I have learned on the
Hmm.
404.
Right, right.
And it was nerve-wracking, but it was awesome. It worked out perfectly.
And that's the
um
first one.
mhm.
How was it? But how was it? So you get, what was? Talk a little bit about the scenario. You get there. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people there.
No, no, there
Okay.
wasn't actually. Like it was, I think each and every time, besides the last one, which was like a Donut Lounge, that's a whole different thing. But like the first two live shows, there weren't a lot of people,
Uh huh.
which I did not mind because again, I don't like
Right, right, right.
crowds. Yeah. Um.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I get it. I mean, it's your
Yeah.
first. Get the feel of what it is to even just go somewhere and do this live, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but how
So
was the
like
experience for you as far as that?
it
Going
was
somewhere, setting up.
the setting up was probably the most like nerve-wracking thing, because I guess that's what like leads up to the actual performance.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I didn't know, okay, and I learned this like the hard way many times now, is like when it comes to live events, you really have to make sure you're prepared. You have to make sure that your speakers work. You have to make sure you have the right wires. You have to make sure your wires work. You have to make sure that you have your battery packs in case like
Mm-hmm.
the I don't know, the power system is not working, and you have like a backup. Like there's so many things that I did not take account
Mm-hmm.
um that people who are performing live have to remember to bring and
Yeah,
remember to
yeah.
keep in mind. I did not know that until I was actually in it. The speakers weren't working the first time, and I was like, no. Um, that really got me like shook up. Like it was like the first 20 minutes. I was like panicking.
Right.
Um, but it all worked out. It all worked out.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So
So
that was the first time.
will you bring in your own equipment? I mean, besides the machine,
Yeah.
but I mean, like the speakers too, you had to bring?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
All
Okay.
of that. Yeah, those were just questions that I didn't think to ask.
Yeah,
But I
yeah, yeah.
didn't realize that like every establishment, every venue is different. Like I have to keep in mind that like I can't assume that people
You
will
have to
have
be,
things prepared.
yeah, you got to be ready at all. Got you, got
Yes.
you. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes.
So now
Um
you did three.
yes.
So by the time you get to your third one, how's that?
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I felt good because I felt like I was like with like the people the it, the people really made it for me. Like the
Okay.
people around me really made it for me. I felt um like community was always something that I never had. So that the fact that I had that like
Mm-hmm.
warmth from them,
Mm-hmm.
like that welcoming, I was like, okay, I'm cool. It didn't even matter whether or not I was actually good at it, but the fact that I was like welcomed, that
Mm-hmm.
meant everything for me when it came to that. Um,
Got you. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
So do you feel like do you enjoy doing the live?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do it often because it
It
kind of
takes a
like wears
lot.
me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And then the preparation of it too. And that's another thing too, is that like some venues or some places they don't really tell you how long you're up there. So it's like when I'm making like when I'm creating or preparing like a set, I'm like I don't even know how long I'm supposed to be doing this, especially when the way that I do like my sets is literally live. I don't with the 404, and this is why people are like, well, why do you do it this way? I don't know. So I chop everything live. So I'm not repatterning anything. I don't do that. I literally tap everything as I go, like it's in real time. So
Right.
I'm literally like, this is like 20, 30 minutes of me just with no break. And just kind of going to like the next beat and the next beat and just that's what I do.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
using
yeah.
it like a keyboard, like a
Right,
piano.
right, 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 right.
Um,
Now, is there a reason why you do it that way? Is it just because that's how you started, or
I
you just
like it like that.
prefer it?
I
Yeah, yeah.
prefer it that way. Like
Okay.
that's so my third, fourth. My last piece of equipment that I purchased is I have this one too. um, it's the Novation Launchpad Mini, right? It's the little square that has like the 64 pads. Um, so this thing right here, right?
Hmm, hmm.
Um, I love to chop. Like that's my craft. So I will literally chop things to 64 pads and I will use every single one of these sounds to make a beat. Like I love
Really?
this stuff. So that's what I do. That's my craft. Like I've always I remember having dreams when I was younger to be like a piano player, like a pianist.
Okay.
But I never learned how to play the piano. I've always wanted lessons, but they're not
Right, right,
free. And my
right.
parents,
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
had
yeah,
other
yeah.
obligations.
So
Um,
this kind of gives you a sense of your
the things that I wanted to do. Yeah, for sure. And it's very it's therapeutic. Like
hmm
to lay a whole sample on like this square and then just seeing how you can arrange it into something completely different and it works. Like it's I don't know. I get really excited over it.
So like that has to be obviously hooked up and connected.
To the laptop. Yeah, like you got to use a DAW with it.
Right, 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 right,
Yeah,
right. Have you ever just, whether it's just to play around with it and the feel for it, have you ever sampled from actual vinyl?
I have once, and it's nice. I like it.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's something that I have to like, I guess, get used to. Oh, it's not really okay. So sampling from vinyl for me, I
Hmm.
have to take my time with it, and I don't have the time for it. Um, as in, there's
So,
just certain
I'm
yeah,
sorry, go ahead. Go
yeah, no, you're
ahead.
fine, you're fine. I guess like there's just certain parts of the song
Hmm.
that like I like to have pieces of the song instead of having just one whole thing to look through because I don't have the time. And with vinyls, you really need the time and the
Hmm.
patience to
Of course.
really,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. Yes, yes.
Um,
The reason why I was asking really is because of the sound, like the type of beats and music that you do.
mhm.
Uh, when I'm listening to it, I can hear, like I could hear you vinyl. I don't know if that makes
Yeah,
sense. I could
yes,
see you using vinyl. I feel like it goes with it. So that's the only reason why I was
for
asking.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, you kind of capture that
Thank you.
s- sound anyway, which
Thank
is
you.
kind of crazy. It's kind of cool actually.
Thank you.
I
I
call
appreciate that.
I'm used to seeing, again, like you said, it takes a lot of time because you got to look for the records, you search through the records, put the record on, look through each song, see if you find something in that song, and
I have
then
a
you have to,
toddler, man. Like
right,
they're
and
gonna.
then you have to take that and put it in there and then play around with it. So it is a
Yeah.
long process. But no, that's really cool. So what coming up? I mean, we started talking about 2025.
Hmm.
Uh, what do you have planned for 2025?
So I
Or shoot, I mean, we're almost at the end of
Yeah, we're
2025, right?
almost at 2025.
So whether it's 2025 or going into 2026, what do you have planned?
So I'm in the process of creating my first sample pack, which is like it's called the Chop Queen Sample Pack Volume One. Um, I'm excited. I'm pumped. So basically, it's just like a collection of like clean chop samples that I've done that are like that people can mess around with and all that stuff, and it's going to be exciting. So I have that releasing sometime this fall.
Now,
Um,
so how would that, in other words, when you're ready to release that,
mhm.
how would somebody be able to purchase that?
Gumroad. So there's a site called Gumroad where they would have to just like download it directly from there, and like they can
Okay.
pay how much
Mm-hmm.
they want for it and all that. Um and
Okay.
it's apparently for sample packs, that's like one of the most popular sites, so
Okay.
that's where the one I'm leaning towards right now.
But you're very excited about this project.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. 1000%.
What
I
what 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 is it about this project that has you so excited?
Because I feel like it's me written all over it, and I get to like present it in a way that's not just like not in the form of a song or the fact that people are. I get excited, like I guess when it comes to like I have a teaching background, so down like creating a sample pack is like creating a lesson plan.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So that's
I kind of figured that's what I wanted to just make sure. Okay.
Yeah. So I like
Nice.
that kind of stuff. So like to see what people can create with the things that I've created
That you
for them,
created.
that's oh my God. Like that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah, yeah.
excited for
That's
that.
gonna be interesting to see.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know, I think I cut you off. Well, anything else coming up
Um so I have that's the only thing that's like solidified right now. I'm in a
as a
like
project? Yeah.
yes, that
Okay.
in the and I have a few collaborations with a few people coming up, but that's not set in stone as to when that's being released. So
Mhm.
um there's not a lot of word on that yet, but
Okay,
I
okay.
have some few things.
Would that be as far as a full project, or is that just like songs?
No, actually, no. Like there's one there's an EP that's coming up between me and there's his name is Gotta to Glory.
Okay,
Um I have an EP coming up with him
okay,
in the next upcoming months. It's like 5 songs.
okay,
Um Not upcoming months, upcoming weeks actually. It's supposed to
okay,
release sometime this year.
okay.
Um which
What
I'm
about for
excited about.
yourself? Anything, or would you like to put anything out at some point as far as
Yes.
EPs, or
Hmm.
is it
So
just, do you just do like EPs?
no, no, no. Like when it comes to the album, I have like so I have like I do have plans for an album. I just when it comes to that, I want to go all out with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want it like my album, I want it to be like like an album that not only do I release on the DSPs, like I want it to be like physical copies. I want it to have it on vinyl.
Nice,
Like I want it to
nice.
be something like big. And I want it to be like a full on album. I don't know if I want it to be instrumental. I don't know if I want to add people onto it. That's
Still
I
playing around with that, the
yeah.
concept of it. Right,
But
right,
I
right.
have big plans for that one. Yeah.
Let me ask you, so you mentioned before that you used to like to go on YouTube, for example, right? And look
Hmm.
up like the instrumentals and stuff like that. Have you
Hmm.
ever done anything like that? Have you, like listen, I do that.
Yeah.
From time to time, I'll go on and look for like instrumentals, depending on what it is that's going on, whether it's the lo-fi, chill, hop, jazz, the lo-fi,
Yeah.
all those kind of things.
Yeah, no,
You
for
ever
sure.
did anything like that? Like, have you ever uploaded anything to YouTube where it's like an hour long of
I've
your
always
stuff?
wanted to, but I don't have the like. So again, it has to do with me and my
The time?
no, not
Oh,
only that, but it's like my ignorance when it comes to like how to properly upload stuff onto YouTube.
uh-huh.
Um, the downloading, I so it was actually a couple of months ago where I was trying to download, well, not download, but upload a
Upload.
30-minute mix of
Okay.
of the reels that I do. It's kind of like a collaboration, like not collaboration, but like a compilation
Mm-hmm.
of
Okay.
sorts. But for some reason, I guess because it was directly, I don't know, but it took like freaking 5 hours to upload, and I was like, it shouldn't take that long to do that. I feel like I was doing something wrong, and then I
Yeah.
was like, okay, so let me try to figure it out, and I don't know what ended up happening, and then I got frustrated, and then I just never happened. It just
But was
never.
that with the video as well, you mean? Or is it just the
No,
music?
it
Just
was
the
just the
music.
it was just the music plus like the like okay, well, it had some like visuals with it, but
Yeah,
there was
because you
no
have to put like
video.
right.
Yeah, but
Ah,
I don't know why it
huh.
was taking so long, but I haven't after that I just got frustrated and
Right.
I was like, okay, well, I have other stuff I have to do, so I never went back to that. But
Yeah. I mean,
that's
that would
still
be
a
kind of cool if you could figure it out. I don't know how that works as far as, I mean, there's so many, when you look it up, there's so much up there. So I don't know what, I don't know if you can monetize off of that. I'm not sure how that part works.
no,
But
but
what I'm saying, it'll just be kind of cool that coming from what you used to kind of go and look for to help you deal and cope with, to now have your own up there that I
yes.
can go and type in. Oh, let me, I could just go right to her channel, and you know what I mean? Like that would be
Yes.
kind of cool at some point.
That would be.
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
be. I should definitely look into that
Yeah,
for
that'd be
sure.
cool. All right, so that's cool. So you have a couple of things that's coming up. Anything as far as live
Uh,
or not yet?
it pops up every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
But like nothing is set in stone. Like I wait for like some events to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Um so maybe not this summer because I've been busy, but during the fall, like they usually the events like the flyers or the people that are asking like it
Mm-hmm.
comes up like a month in advance, so I don't really know when I'm performing until like a
Okay,
month before.
got you.
Um so but I'm sure I'll attend a few of
Something
those.
here and there.
Yeah.
So what would you say besides the projects? But
Mhm.
what would you say moving forward is your main focus? Whether it's
My
to improve on something, whatever it is, what would you say? What's the vision that you have for your future coming up?
my envision, I think I am going to be something that like someone that will be like venturing different avenues always.
Uh-huh.
Um I want to get into sync licensing like eventually, which is something I've always wanted to get into.
Okay.
Um but also when it comes to the releases, I plan to like it's not really a plan, it's more like a concept. I want my identity when it comes to music to involve not only the music I play, but the healing involved in it too. Like I want that to be like a something embedded in my music always because that stuff is always meaningful to me. Like I'm not trying to make music just because it sounds nice. Like
Mm-hmm.
there is some kind of healing attached to it that I like I that's the thing that I've always so like as long as I'm keeping that like focus with my music, whatever plans that will lead to, I'm just confident that it will be like a good one. I don't know if that makes sense, but like if I think too much about my future, I get like overwhelmed because of all the stuff I'm going through. So that's where I am right now is
Okay.
I'm on like a trajectory where it's like as long as I'm doing what I'm doing right now, things will pop
It,
up for
it
me.
it'll fall into place.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's you see. Then I started off right by saying what your music and the videos do, right? Like as far as the tone of the day or making you feel good and this and that. I started off saying that.
Yeah.
And, you told me the story about growing up and what music
Mhm.
did for you. And it sounds like you want to pay that forward to somebody else that might need it. Right.
Absolutely.
Um, so that's really cool.
Thank
that's,
you.
that's
Thank you.
really,
Thank you.
it's really good because we always see, right? They always say music is life, music is healing. I believe that, you know what I mean? Because for me
Y-
personally, I turn to music for everything. You know what I mean? Like it's my escape for everything. You know what I mean?
I
So,
feel you. I feel
uh,
you.
w- again, I don't know. It's just looking into the future.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
would you ever do something where, whether it's a workshop or, something with maybe like teaching kids how to play around with the machines or your 404. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
ever thought about that? Like, is it ever
Yeah. Yeah,
maybe
no,
like
for
a
sure.
possibility?
Like
Yeah.
there's I have there's a producer that I know that he's also like a doctor psychologist that he has his own like little workshop in Brooklyn where he creates a like he teaches like kids how to make beats with like
Nice.
with like the samplers that I use and all that stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's really really nice, and eventually that's the kind of stuff that I want to get into.
You
Is
know what?
especially the at risk low income kids that need something to do
That
like
probably
that.
don't get their hands on the
Mm,
equipment or this or that, and
yeah,
probably
like this stuff
have
will.
things in their head that they just can't.
Yes, like this,
Mm-hmm.
it will like that's the kind of way that I envision myself like paying stuff forward in that sense
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
think it's healing in a lot of ways. It's not just like spiritual; it's mental.
yeah.
It
Mm-hmm.
allows like expression
Mm-hmm.
to come out instead of
Mm-hmm.
internalizing it. And the way that the kids nowadays they don't know how to process emotions well at all.
No, 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 no. It's tough. It's tough.
It's scary.
But yeah, no, no. I could see that. I could see you doing that. You definitely just keep like
Thank
you said, keep doing what you're doing. Keep going in the direction you're going. And from my sounds like you're on the right track and the right path.
you. I
So
appreciate
just
that.
keep it going. Where can they find you at? Where's, whether it's social media, where can
Mhm.
they, like I mentioned earlier, I know some of your stuff is on Apple Music. So as far as that, they can check that out there, Spotify,
Yeah.
but where can they keep up with you at?
Yeah, so Instagram is my main
Mhm,
hub when it comes to updates, when it comes to my reels, when it comes to my videos. I post almost daily.
mhm.
Um when it comes to certain things like beat tapes and all that stuff, you can find that on my Bandcamp. There's a lot of cool stuff on my Bandcamp if you guys are ever interested in checking that out.
And
Um
supporting.
yeah, and supporting.
I'll say
None
it
that
I'll say it for you. Don't worry. If you want to keep
appreciate that.
hearing and listen, at the end of the day, help out. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so we
So
can keep it more of your music around. But so
yeah,
Bandcamp, okay, Instagram, your name,
yeah. Ellie Rizoa,
Ellie
Ellie
Rizoa.
Rizoa.
Now
Yeah.
so you mentioned your parents, Dominican, Puerto Rican.
hmm My
Do
mom is
you
from Dominican Republic. My dad's from DR. Yeah. I mean, from Puerto
PR?
Rico.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you play around as far as sounds? You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
ever
like
merengue, some bachata, some
yeah,
salsa?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I
I
love
heard
messing with those.
one. I came across
Yeah.
one. I forgot what's the name of the song, but there
It's
was
Mama's
one.
whistle that
Yes.
like I sampled like it was like a generic like a salsa mix,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and I kind of transferred it, formed it into hip hop, and then it went back into salsa. Like
Yeah, it
it was like a
sound
cool
good
little
though. It
thing.
sound good.
Thank you,
It
thank
sound
you.
good. But
Um,
do you like playing around with those sounds? Yeah,
I do
yeah.
a lot. Like I've always wanted like when it comes to like I guess okay, so when it comes to like to live sound, um my parents, like growing up in my house, like we had like they had the congas, they had the clave, they had that like all these instruments.
La
Yeah,
guira. Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah.
So like I've always wanted to learn how to like I need to have like the perfect mics for those things, but I would love
Oh
to
yeah,
like sample those kind of sounds into my music eventually. Cause that really gets me into like a happy mood. Like
oh, that
the
would be
yeah.
sick. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
but
Oh,
in
you
due
you got a
time,
lot of stuff to work on.
I know, right?
You got a lot of things to keep you busy though.
Yes.
That's cool. If you don't want to touch this, we don't have
Yeah.
to. So I follow your reels, I see your reels, I watch your videos,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden a video pops up and you have the low cut.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I didn't think anything of it, really,
hmm
to be honest with you, but I did notice the difference, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, I I
We
came
could dabble into
across.
that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
now the only reason why, if you don't mind
Yeah.
touching on it, is because even for yourself, you told about early on, as far as confidence and things like that, having a lot of
Mhm.
obstacles, having, whether every time you would try to do something, there was some type of obstacle that prevented from doing things, or people around, like you mentioned all these things, and it sounds like you found and are working on how to deal with those things, come out of it, be your own person
Mhm.
and have confidence. And, you know, again, somebody watching,
Mhm.
uh, sometimes it helps them, you know what I mean? Because sometimes there's somebody watching that's
Yeah.
going through similar things that don't know how to deal with it or express themselves or how to have that confidence. So if you don't
For
mind,
sure.
and I'm
Yeah.
talking about, obviously, for those that don't know, you know what I mean? You had the, if they watch your videos, they'll see you with hair, and then all of a sudden you have short
Shit.
hair.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
could elaborate a little bit
Okay.
on that.
Yeah. So, the reels where I had the long hair, I was rocking a wig the entire time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I grew up with really, really curly, kinky hair, like the way that typical Dominican Puerto Ricans
Mm-hmm.
have. It's like the kinky, curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was nice until I moved here, where I was the only minority kid full
Mm-hmm.
of white people with the
Mm-hmm.
straight hair and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess with my mom being Dominican, um, the processing of the hair
Yeah, yeah,
constantly,
yeah.
constantly, constantly was
Mm-hmm.
that factor. And me being insecure about like me being like the only curly haired person in the freaking school, eventually I started getting into things like weaves and wigs and all that stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
eventually that really, really damaged my actual hair. Um, so now there's parts of it that even if I did grow it, it does not grow back
Okay.
fully.
Mm-hmm.
And that started happening in my early 20s. Early 20s. So
Okay.
that's like my
Like a bit
my esteem just
impressionable. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Time for, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I was still in the process of hiding it. I was still doing good, still doing good. And then eventually I was like, this is especially it was like this year where the temperature was reaching over 100.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, I can't do this. Like, there's no reason for me to be walking around uncomfortable trying to impress strangers because I have this hat on my head. I consider
Right,
it like
right.
a freaking hat at this point.
Right, right.
Um, so I was like, I've always liked how I looked like without it. I've always personally thought I could pull it off, but it was the people around me again that was
Again,
like,
right, right.
"You're a female though. You're supposed to have long hair." Da da da. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but every time I grow it, it looks ridiculous, doesn't it? Like I feel like if there's a reasoning behind it, and I feel like it kind of works. It kind of works. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel more myself. I feel more free. I don't feel like I um it's more of like a one less thing to worry about in my day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's where I am right now. And it's like, the people who have a problem with it, it's like, okay, well, they can grow their own hair. It's okay.
Right, 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 right. You know what's crazy? I was, I was doing some research and looking up some stuff or whatever, and something that came up
Hmm.
but again, it's not unexpected because people are people and some are just ignorant.
Yeah.
But there were things coming up that they were, I guess people were just assuming things and
Hmm.
saying all kind of like crazy things without knowing, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, of
assuming.
course.
And that to me was a little crazy. I mean, again, it's not, it's expected from people, right?
Of course.
Uh, Hold on one second. I want to see, just give me one
Yeah,
second.
all good, all good.
Give me one second. I want to see something.
Okay.
Give me one second.
Take your time.
Because there's somebody that I know and I was showing them your Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to have an interview with this person, and we came across this what we're talking about,
Yeah.
and I just want to see. Hold on, just give me a second. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, no, all good, all good, all good.
What's it? You busy?
No, I was about to shave.
All right, you can put that on hold for 1 second. Now, listen, I'm about to show you someone on screen real quick, okay? You listening? And when you see the person on screen, I want you to tell them what you told me when you see, okay? Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I know you're nervous. It's nothing crazy. Hold on, hold on. Let me see. How do I do this? If I flip it around this way? All right, let me see. Can you see? Can you see it? Wait, but you can't see her. Wait, wait, wait. No, no, no. I got to turn it around the other way because she can't see you. She's just looking at my phone. Let me see. Does this work?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm Christian.
I'm Ellie. Nice to meet you.
I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, I can't hear
Yeah,
her.
You can't
yeah.
hear her? Oh, because I
Mm.
have the. Hold on, hold on. What about now?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm Ellie. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm
Do you,
Christian.
Christian? Do you recognize?
Friend.
Do you recognize who she is though?
Wait, say it again.
Do you recognize who she is?
Hey, I just watched
This is
a video, right?
the one that I was. She's the one that I told you I had the interview coming up with today. Okay. When you saw, and we were just finished talking about this, but remember we were talking when you saw her with the hair and then you saw her with her hair like this? What did you say?
I said I prefer you the way you look right now. I love you. But the way that your hairstyle is it's perfect. It's dreamy to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate
You look
that.
stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, I swear to,
Yeah, that means
It brings out
I
your
feel the
features.
same. I feel the same way. So thank you.
yeah, it was the,
No, I truly mean that. That was the first thing I thought when I saw you. I was like, oh my god, this woman is beautiful.
yeah, that's
Oh,
what he
thank
kept saying.
you.
That's what he kept saying.
I literally just kept saying it over and over again.
I don't even think he would paid attention to the beats, to be honest with
No,
you.
thank you. That means
No,
a
no, I
lot.
just wanted you, just so you can see that, you know what I mean, amongst all the craziness and people talking crazy nonsense and ignorant stuff, there's,
There's people that actually see what I'm
yes,
seeing too.
yes.
Thank you. That means a
All
lot.
right.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, no problem. Anyway, bro, that's what I want. You can go back to shape now. No, no, no. Thanks for picking up the phone, man.
Likewise, likewise. You have a good night.
I'll
Bye
talk to you
bye.
later, man. Thank you. I had to because it was funny. Not funny like in the, how, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm showing him and this and that, and he just kept, he was like, because again, we didn't really know the full story. I kind of had
Yeah.
picked up on, and he was just like, she's beautiful. She's like, yeah, take that. You know what I mean? Like, rock that. And I was like,
Yeah.
so I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to share that with you. So you know what I
Thank
mean?
you. That means a lot. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah, no, 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 no. And he's right. He's right. So, okay, to wrap all of this up, uh, I appreciate you. I commend you. I'm happy that you have been able to find how to deal with everything, how to cope with everything, the
Thank you.
ups, the downs, the obstacles, going through all kind of different things that you've been going through.
Thank you.
And I mean, I know you're still, it's not like you're still dealing with things, still going through things.
Yeah.
So, but you found how to, you have
Cope with
something
it.
to cope with it,
Yeah.
so that you can, and that's great. So
Yeah. Thank
keep
you.
doing what you're doing. Don't stop.
I appreciate that.
I wish you all the best with your son. What's your son's name?
Kai.
Kai?
Yeah, Kai.
Nice. Shout out to
Yes, yes.
Kai. I wish you all the best for him. Once again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. It's Nsway 73 TV. I am your host, Uncle E. Don't forget, hit the subscribe, like, share, comment. Let everybody know to make sure they tune in to Nsway 73 on YouTube. And don't miss great shows and conversations like the one we just had with Ellie.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Till the next time. Peace.